Hi, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Shift Happens, where we talk to Ron, who, against all the odds, overcome through healing, through holistic therapies, chronic fatigue. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us this week to talk about something that's sounds like it's been a real journey for you, and it's something that's really heartfelt for me and my husband as well, and that's chronic fatigue. Yes. So where did this all start?
1994, I started feeling unwell, and this sort of started as a pattern really of getting tired, keeping doing things like going to the gym and working. And then progressively over the next few years, that it was taking longer and longer for me to sort of recover, to be able to function. So, but at first I was ignoring all those signs and symptoms. So that's when it all began, 1994. And the trigger for me was having a bout of glandular fever, the kissing disease. Yeah. Which was one New Year's Eve, I can remember, a really good party. So
it came in a good way.
Yeah, it was so worth it. But boy, was I ill just afterwards.
It can be really bad.
That illness can be really trivialised.
Yeah.
So I really connect to people who have it because it can be quite severe. Yeah. And it's so important that people do convalesce when they've had it and take their time getting back to normal.
And did you?
No, I didn't.
No, I kind of got the feeling that's.
A lot of people who have chronic fatigue, they sort of have that mindset of nothing's going to stop me, nothing's going to change me. Mm-hmm. And I was definitely one of those people. I was very resistant, very rebellious. And it took me a long time to start listening to my body and, seeing what was happening to me. Yeah. I was in refusal for many years. And stuck in that sort of pattern.
Yeah. So before you had glandular fever and started, we'll talk about the symptoms and the triggers in a minute. How were you living? Give us an overview of Ron, and how you were as a person, physically, emotionally.
Okay. So I had a very unhealthy lifestyle. Yeah. I was a self-employed electrician.
Sparky.
A sparky.
Yeah.
So it was all about energy.
Yeah.
Even back then in a different way. But I was working long hours as a self-employed person, abusing my body because you work long days to get the job done. Yeah. So I was taught work hard, party hard. And I really did party hard. But I didn't eat well. I didn't manage stress. I didn't see sleep as important. I'd continually have late nights and be drinking lots of alcohol as well. Yeah. So I really was burning the candle. Both ends and in the middle. So that's the way I was before. Yeah. Totally ignorant to my health, and what was good for me.
Yeah. But not really suffering from any problems for your health at that time.
Nothing at all. I just, because I was getting away with it was like, this is great, continue. There was people around me who were trying to give me a nudge.
But you thought you were a bit of a superhero?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm doing what I want and when I want. Nobody's telling me that I can't do this, that. Oh, by the way, and I was exercising a lot as well. Yeah. So I was probably training like a professional athlete while living that lifestyle I just described. Yeah. So that was a lot. Yeah. In with running my own business, you see. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay. So then you went out. You had a good night.
Yeah.
And you caught the kissing disease.
I did.
And
I was taken out.
Yeah.
So I literally was. I mean, I was taken to hospital with the first symptoms because I had a rash. Yeah. And they thought it was meningitis at first, suspected. But then they ruled that out. And, they diagnosed glandular fever. But there wasn't really any proper advice with that, apart from go home and rest. Which is not very good, really. So, but I was in bed for 3 weeks, not able to really do much. But then as soon as I was able to, I just sort of got back to normal very quickly, which was too soon because I didn't give my body enough time to rest. Yeah. So as soon as I was able just to get out, I was like back at the gym, back out with friends, back out doing everything when I should have been pacing myself,
Yeah.
which I didn't do. But I wasn't given any information or knowledge,
No.
say medically for a start, just maybe take it easy for a while and look, nurture yourself.
Yeah.
But,
So they didn't look at the whole picture of what was going on?
No.
No.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
So, and everybody'd heard about that condition, and like my mum was really good because she was always the one who really looked after me. But not really knowing what anything specific to do, and now I do know specific things, that can really, really help. So that's where I'm very lucky.
Okay, so when you say that this led into chronic fatigue, what actually happened and how were you affected?
I had that pattern, as I just said, and the fatigue was just getting worse and worse, and it progressed over a few years till it probably reached a peak in, I think, about 1998, which also coincided just after I'd had a flu jab as well. So I think that was another thing that pushed me over the edge. So I used to get heaviness in the muscles, aching, pain. Some days, especially while I was trying to work, physically couldn't get my arms above my head because as a Sparky, there would have been a lot of work sort of arms above head, say putting ceiling fittings up and cables and all that sort of stuff. So physically not able to do a lot. But then with that came the depression and the lowering of your mood. And the doctors tried to diagnose me with depression. But even back then I was aware. I knew I wasn't depressed. I felt low because of all the other symptoms I was experiencing naturally as a human being. So I didn't take antidepressants, which is all he wanted to give me. So that got worse and worse and worse until I physically couldn't do a lot. I couldn't work. I had to stop working. I couldn't go to the gym, even though I wanted to, and I was so frustrated. And it was a downward spiral, but it quickly accelerated to me being sort of stuck in the house for a few months. Barely being able to function, even just to get dressed, cook, have a shower, and having the depression along with that as well, the low mood.
Yeah. So describe your days. That must have been really difficult to live with. So what would be a typical?
It's a really dark place to be. And I think one of the things that makes me a good therapist is having experienced all that. Because I've been in that dark place. I know the type of thoughts you have, the dark thoughts. Because I did many times thought about taking an easy way out, for sure. Because I was in the dark place, I couldn't see any resolution to it. And I thought, what's the point of me being here? So, it's not an easy place to be.
I mean, that's really impactful, isn't it? That you're saying that there were certain points in your life where you kind of wanted to end it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So what were you feeling on a daily? Obviously, you're feeling like you wanted to end it, but what did a day look like? Were you laying in bed all day? Were you?
I was just I was pottering really.
Yeah.
A lot of pottering, listening to music, some TV. I can remember going out, just sitting in the garden. Trying to do a bit of reading. And it was the early days of the internet. And I was, even then I was trying to do a bit of research to look at what was going on with my body. But it was the early days of the internet. That would have been around 1998. So I do always say when I'm talking about that history that I'm always talking about it to the best that I can remember. But because of the nature of the condition, because I know over the years I would have told the story many times, there probably will be some clashes in what I've said. But that's because of the condition. I did have a little diary for a while, so I know some of the specifics for a certain period of time. But I always like to say that, because I know there could be people out there who've seen me say a different story and go, oh, you said something else, So... especially with, like, for example, what's happened with a lovely couple that done the salt path and they've just been attacked in the media as an example. So just want to put that out there because there could be slightly different things I've said. But it's I have got a good memory.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So what was the turning point then for you?
So the turning point was thanks to my mum, who was seeing a holistic therapist. So she was doing cupping, acupressure, and nutrition. So mum had been seeing her, and I'd heard her talking about this therapist. She was always saying, oh, she's amazing, she's wonderful, she's really helped me. And then mum saw how bad I was, and she said, well, look, why don't you come and have a treatment, and I'll pay for it. So I just agreed. Well, yeah, okay, whatever. Didn't know anything about it or what to expect. And this therapist really did help me. And that was the turning point, because although I did get some really horrendous cleansing reactions, as you would normally do, I understand those now.
Yeah.
After those cleansing reactions, which could have lasted 3 days, I did start feeling better. I did start thinking clearer, and things were brighter. I could see a way out of it.
What was the advice that therapist gave you to kind of make you feel better that you hadn't felt for such a long time?
Well, the treatments themselves were really helping, but she started to change my nutrition, which was really poor before that. I mean, my idea of being healthy was, I can remember it now when I used to go shopping, was buying some brown bread and tinned vegetables that were already cooked.
Hang on a minute. So did you toast the bread and put the vegetables on them?
Well, no, but I just it was like I had these wacky ideas, as I'm sure maybe a lot of people do, when they think they're like, this is a healthy thing to do. Oh, and having a glass of orange juice. Ooh, with all the bits in it, all the fibre. Yeah. So it was the treatments that I had, and then she started to change my nutrition. And there just happened to be another guy who I did start speaking to, who was going for treatments there as well, and he had chronic fatigue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And me and him sort of started chatting and actually became friends. Yeah. And we still are to this day.
So you had a chronic fatigue buddy?
I did.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And I called him my ME brother. That's what we said. We were ME brothers. And we went through our sort of recoveries together. Yeah. I mean, then we also went on to training a lot of things that me and him did. He's now a top podiatrist who works with top sports people.
Oh, really?
In football, golf, and lots of other sports.
Yeah. So were a few modalities that helped in the healing process. So let's just look at nutrition for a start. So how was your nutrition tweaked? What was the process really?
Hi, we're just taking a short break, but please tune in to next week's guest called Mary Joy, who's going to be talking about a really interesting church scandal. So make sure you tune in for that. Back to the show.
Yeah, it was very slow.
Yeah.
Because I went on tweaking it for many, many years afterwards through seeing more practitioners. She got me eating a proper breakfast. I can remember that was one thing, because I was just maybe like a lot of people who were eating cereals in the morning. Yes. And my blood sugar wasn't very good. So that was one thing we changed. That's probably one of the biggest things. And then starting to eat a more alkalizing diet. Yeah. Which basically like eating fresh vegetables, more fresh produce.
Not tinned vegetables.
Tinned vegetables. Oh, and not microwaved either. That was the other thing. Yeah. I was eating a lot of microwave stuff. Yeah. Oh, this is scary reflecting back. I look back and think, how did I expect to be healthy?
We don't know. You don't know what you don't know, do you? That's the reality. That way.
And the high stress levels as well. Yeah. So breakfast, more of an alkalizing diet, more fresh produce, and eliminating the sugary foods and snacks.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind telling people what your background is, actually, because that would be really, really helpful. And then we can talk about the chronic fatigue a little bit more. So would you like to tell everybody what your background is and what you do?
Oh, as in right now?
Yes, right now, yeah.
So I do a lot now. So we could be here all day talking about it, but I shall shorten it all. So I'm a naturopath. Been in practice for over 25 years. I've done all the holistic therapies as well. They were like my foundation. So me and my ME brother I just spoke about, we did reflexology together. That was our first love. So we both did that. Yeah. That was the first therapy I did. But I went on to do all the holistic therapies, aromatherapy, ear candling, different types of massage. And then I went on to train in nutrition and potato breathing. That's a really important one to know because that's fantastic for people with chronic fatigue.
Potato breathing.
Yeah,
I thought you said potatoes.
So did I.
Yeah, most people do. They go, potato.
Can we just hold on that for a minute? What's that? What's potato?
So if the originator of it, he was Russian. So it's Dr. Konstantin Buteyko, Buteyko.
Yeah.
That's on the health service in Russia for people with any breathing conditions. So me and my ME brother, we trained to do that because we both were asthmatics as well. Yeah. And sometimes you find out things by accident. So we went and did the course, and through doing the course to become a practitioner, you've got to practice it all the time. And after a few days, he was saying to me, I've got more energy, doing this. And I was like, I have as well. I didn't know whether I was imagining it or not. Anyway, it was a massive tool for us. One of the side effects of doing potato is it gives you loads of energy. So it's not just for people with breathing conditions like asthma. So potato is a massive part of my recovery. So you basically produce more red blood cells and you're able to oxygenate much, much better. So that's a fantastic therapy. So I still do that. I still teach that to clients in the clinic now.
But what is it though? What are they?
So it's a set of breathing exercises.
Oh, so it's a specific set of breathing exercises. Okay.
So it's breath retraining.
Breath retraining.
Because every person who has a health problem, condition, has some aspect of dysregulation with the breathing. Doesn't matter what it is, physical or not. If it was depression, you would see it. If it was a physical thing, like a restriction of the breathing, like asthma, you would see it. Yeah. So it's retraining the breathing pattern, which we all need to do occasionally because it's the stress response, fight or flight. People get stuck in it and they get stuck in breathing that way. Yeah, so it doesn't switch off the fight or flight. Yeah.
I find breathwork really interesting actually because there's so many types of breathwork now and everyone says this is the way to do it, don't do it that way. So I'm really interested to go on, just to put you on the spot here, just a quick demo. So what type of breath work is it?
So the potato breathing,
I'm a mouth breather.
So you just watch people, like even now here when we're talking, I'm trying to be aware of nasal breathing. Yeah. But as you talk a lot, you start to mouth breathe.
Yeah.
That causes you to hyperventilate. And then you start to lower your carbon dioxide levels. Now everybody thinks, we've got to get rid of carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Like what's going on out in the world at the moment. But actually we need it. We need it to be healthy. We need it to hold the airways open.
Yeah.
We have to hold a certain percentage of carbon dioxide. Most people are hyperventilating. They're losing all the carbon dioxide. Therefore, you actually can't access your oxygen.
Ah, that's interesting.
So focus on nasal breathing.
So it is the...
So
come on, give it
a
come on, we're going to do it.
We're going to do it.
Well,
right.
yeah, I mean, it's just first just to close your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just breathe normally. And then just be aware of the sensations of air going in and out your nose. Is it blocked? So for a lot of people, first off, when they've been breathing this way, the sinuses have actually become blocked because the result of chronic mouth breathing is the sinuses do get blocked.
I feel like I can't get enough breath when I just... Do you know my crazy husband? Yeah. He puts those plasters on his mouth at night.
Oh, yeah, that's one of our practices that we do.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. That's a potato.
Big, like,
no,
is
no,
it? Is that
really
what he's
practice.
doing? This big black plastic plaster on his...
Well, you don't use something like that, but we use, in the programme, we use a bit of micropore tape.
Do you? Yeah.
You put it on the back of the hand to get most of the sticky off. Yeah. And then it goes here when you get to bed.
Really? Yeah. Oh, no, he has it across the whole mouth.
Wow.
I know.
I'd
feel claustrophobic.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
But you just get used to it. You have to practice it and get used to it. It's only the only time you wouldn't do it. It's just common sense.
Yeah.
You've been out drinking excessive amounts of alcohol.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
or you had a sickness bug.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. Apart from that, it's really safe because if your nose gets blocked, you will always wake up.
Yeah.
Okay. Even the Native American Indians used to put a blob of honey on their infants' lips when they go to sleep and then push the lips together.
Oh, really?
'Cause they knew the
That's interesting,
importance
isn't it?
Of nasal
Of
breathing.
Nasal breathe.
Anyway, the alternative to the mouth taping, and everybody can get them on places like Amazon, is a chin strap. Right? It goes round your head, round your chin, and then you just do it up. So instead of doing that with the tape, it just holds the jaw up. Because as soon as we go to sleep, we just do that. And then we're mouth breathing through the night. So the more you mouth breathe, the more your nose gets blocked up.
Yes.
So I'm going to show you another quick exercise now. So in the blood vessels here, we produce nitric oxide, which is a gas with loads of wonderful properties. It helps to oxygenate us, to open the airways, kills viruses as they come in through the body. So through these nasal breathing exercises, it elevates your nitric oxide levels. And very simply what you do is if you just lightly hold your nose and just do 3 little pushes into the nose, like you're just gently trying to pop your ears. And then release, take a breath. And then do another 3. And then breathe through your nose. So that's one of the exercises. There are many.
You went dizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's you've got things clearing around the ears.
It
Anytime
just
we're doing work with the
opened it up.
ears,
Yeah.
you might feel it with your balance.
Which I have.
Oh, yeah,
Got
yeah.
things going on with my ears.
So nitric oxide will help to open all the sinus cavities in the face. And that includes sometimes people have got like residual infections in there.
That's
Someone have
really
had for a long
good.
So it's
time.
just
How
simple
long
thing
should
to
you
do.
do? Yeah, how long should you do that for then? This kind of hold it and then a breath.
And then you can do the nodding with it as well. So the action and nodding up and down afterwards,
Sorry, you've got this.
like that.
Oops, sorry.
You start-
Just showing my double chin even more now.
No.
Mind you, I have to just talk like this.
That moves the gas then.
Ah.
So nitric oxide it's in medications like Viagra as an example.
Yeah.
So that's a nitric oxide medication. Viagra is. Your body makes it. We just got to know how to trick
Oh,
the body into
Wow.
using it because we
Feel I'm in
make
a
it already.
Science lesson here.
So basically, don't take Viagra, just get your nitric acid going.
Well, the interesting thing with Viagra is now we're seeing that people are on it long term.
Yeah.
They are getting a lot of dangerous side effects.
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah, because you can't have high nitric oxide levels
Yeah.
without a healthy diet. Because you've got to have a lot of antioxidants coming in through fruit and vegetables. Because nitric oxide is what we call a pro-oxidant.
Yeah.
So it can cause damage when there's too much of it, which you can get off those medications. And we're seeing that now in all the studies. So, but you wouldn't get it from the amount you would get doing the Buteyko breathing.
Yeah.
So with this exercise, you found a massive difference with the increase of energy,
Yeah,
and really
absolutely.
helpful for people with chronic fatigue. What do you think the main reasons are for chronic fatigue? Is it genetic? Is it something that can just come on? Like, what is?
So there's a lot of reasons, a lot of factors involved. Some of them are genetic.
Yeah.
But like I'm an iridologist, and we look at the markings in the eyes to relate that to certain things to your health. And from iridology, we see all these different constitution types. Mm-hmm. But every constitution type could get chronic fatigue. But they've all got a different pathway to how they got it. But the overriding factors are prolonged period of stress, okay, which we're talking maybe years, followed by a viral infection. In most people. There are exceptions to that. Most people who develop chronic fatigue were very active. In my experience, I'd say about 9 out of 10 people.
Really,
One being a couch potato, it can still happen.
Yeah.
there's opposite reasons for that. But with the 9 out of 10, like I was an exercise junkie.
Yeah.
And I exercised every day. I trained like an athlete. And then for me to go from that, suddenly not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
But it was still hard. There was a lot of people around me who struggled with it, I've got to say, because they were looking at me as if to go, well, this is all in his head, this is.
Yeah.
It's all in his head, he looks fine to me. Because it's one of those conditions when all right, you can have days where you do look really rough, but generally you don't. And people are thinking, I'm not sure about that. It's human nature, because I don't see something drastic going on with you.
No.
So I exercised myself almost to death, really.
Yeah.
Chronic fatigue was my saviour. And I will say that now, looking back, because it made me stop and reevaluate and change my path. I am now back to exercising. I have more energy now than I ever had.
Yeah.
Well, this is what happens. You get the signs, don't you? The body is communicating to you all the time. And if you're not listening, it's like, right, well, how can we stop this person to really listen? So we're going to give you boom.
This. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
And people don't look at it like that, but that's, the body's so clever.
It is. And that's it. You, as you say, you're going to ignore.
Yeah.
But something big's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the analogy I use, when I'm lecturing on chronic fatigue now, as I do, is God's brick. God's brick is the analogy I used, because you were ignoring, and then suddenly...
yeah, you get it. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Now you're going to take notice.
Yeah.
God's brick.
Yeah.
God's brick.
I like that.
And
It's
then you're going to take notice.
Yeah.
Because that was the same for me, as I've just said about the way I was. There was nothing was going to change me on what I was doing, because I was so
stubborn,
such a rebellious character and stubborn. And it
having
took
a good
that
time.
to do it. To definitely having a good time.
Yeah.
So if anyone's listening right now and they're kind of listening and thinking, oh, well, I've actually got a couple of those symptoms, what advice would you give them? What little changes or things that they could do?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's always, human nature is to fix when broken. And we want to try and work in prevention, don't we? I mean, how many people come to me in the clinic going, actually, I'm in really good health, but I'd like you just to, help me improve that and maybe have a look at anything I'm not doing right. I do get about 1 out of 100 people, maybe. I do get people come like that, actually, just not very often. So it's, I suppose, with wisdom, you like now, I'm really in tune with my health, and I wasn't before. So try and take note of the signs your body gives you. Are you doing too much? Like, people with chronic fatigue are what we call yes people. They're people pleasers.
Yeah.
When we start to look all the psychology of it, and I was one of those people.
Yeah.
I was surrounded by sort of a group of friends and that, where I used to say yes to a lot of things, I don't mind admitting that now. And now I've got really good boundaries and example. And I see that in so many clients with chronic fatigue. So again, if that's something people have, that they're always saying yes to things, healthy boundaries are really good for your physical and mental health.
It's really interesting you say that, actually, because does chronic fatigue come under autoimmune?
It does.
It does, because there's a great book written by Gabor Mate, which is When the Body Says No. Okay. And one of the correlations that he's made as a GP for years and years and years, and then other things he went into, is that everybody who came with presenting, chronic fatigue or autoimmune were people pleasers.
Yeah,
they were people that were not living their authentic lives. They weren't being true. They were living their lives for other people. Absolutely. And that's how it's showing in the body.
Do you think it's a British culture? I mean, does this happen
it,
in other countries?
It does, yeah, because I haven't looked at the stats worldwide for a while, but I did, because, I developed a style of Qigong for people with chronic fatigue, ME, and that DVD went out round the world a bit. I did sell a few copies, and it was in just looking at the demographics of it, like. But through the promotion of that, I did look at all the different countries, what was going on. But they did they got chronic fatigue in Norway, It's obviously cold there, but they did in Australia. It sold really well in those two countries for some reason, but they were opposite ends of the globe. But one place was cold, one was really, really hot. So, but then it was the same in, South American countries, across Europe. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
But maybe for different reasons then. But I think definitely some of it is cultural for this country. Yeah. And it's no coincidence that you see more females with chronic fatigue than men. Yeah. Because them in that role this is my experience of what I've seen in the clinic, where I've tried to fortify women who've come to see me to have better boundaries, to be able to delegate and say no, those sort of things in like a family type situation, or even being stuck. Look, in chronic fatigue, the programs that I use with it, we work on reducing toxicity, but one of those things is toxic relationships. They're no different. That's a part of toxicity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the way I work as a naturopath, I'm working with the physical, but also the metaphysical. Yeah. That's equally as important.
I think it has to be. It has to be. That's the whole point of holistic, isn't it?
Absolutely,
And I think that's the problem with our culture and with Western medicine. And I've said it, and I'll hold myself responsible for that, because I have some really strong feelings on that.
No, absolutely. It is missing.
It is missing.
It's missing.
It really is
it's
missing.
Still seen as that doing stuff like more spiritual, esoteric, metaphysical is seen as like woo-woo and out there. But it's in with science now. It's all connected to science.
Massively.
Isn't it?
Massively.
As you well know. And my colleague, Dr. David Hamilton, who's written all his books for Hay House, done all his wonderful workshops, but he's proved the science behind, well, that's one of his books. He's called, The Science Behind Woo-Woo.
Yeah.
Title, something like that. And he's put all the studies behind all the things that we do, because he was a scientist.
You mentioned when we were talking that the journey that you decided to go on, that you hit a few kind of blocks with people because they weren't liking in the direction that you were going in.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. I mean, one is I started to make a lot of positive changes for me, but then it's interesting then how you notice how a lot of other people start to feel uncomfortable because you started improving yourself, but they're not liking that because they haven't kept you where they want you to be.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like circles of friends shifted as an example. I've got a completely different circle of friends around me now, but it's people who nourish me, uplift me, positive, So, but I didn't have that back then. So it's almost like going through, a barrier, because you're pushing to go through it on your path to recovery. But it's like, oh yeah, but I've got all these people I really care about and I don't want them to go. I don't want to lose them. And it's like, so that can slow you up. But then when you do go, it's like taking off and flying high. Yeah. So moving on from circles of friends, and maybe even some family members as well. That's a fact.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Because it's a hard one. I understand it's a hard condition for people to get their heads around. Because I keep coming back to this. Because you can look at people and go, they look fine. Yeah. What's going on there? It must be all in their head. So that was the moving on from friendship circles, having better boundaries with family members, things like that. But then more into my recovery, and when I was a practitioner, there was then the threat from some of the organisations that are sort of support organisations, I'm not going to name any at all, who were threatened by me going around saying I've recovered, who did take steps to try and have me silenced. So, and that's a fact. And they can be very, very powerful when they want to be. So newspaper headlines about me. I was in a role at Salus Fatigue Foundation in Sutton Coldfield, and that's still going. I'm not part of that anymore, but it's doing some amazing work still with Linda Jones, who runs that. But they even tried to get me sacked from my role in that job, and actually came out with a statement that I'd never had chronic fatigue in the first place, even though I was diagnosed with it in 1998. By the way, I had to pay for private diagnosis there because back then it wasn't medically recognised. And it is now. It has been since the early noughties. Yeah. But I had to pay for private diagnosis. As I said, the GP just wanted to say I had depression.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some of those support organisations went after me, and I did have to lay low for a while. It was a difficult time. They put training standards onto me. There was newspaper headlines. It was a really difficult time where there was a period when I was even scared of answering the phone or even knocks at the door. But through that, I did find a support organisation in London, Freedom for Health, who was so supportive of me, and they were like my knight in shining armour. And I found all these other people similar things had happened to.
Yeah.
And went down to London, did some filming with them because they were doing education videos for people. So, it was a tough time, but I came through it, and I'm a lot better for it. And I've been able to reflect on it, and the thing with all these support organisations, I don't want to name any, is they only exist because a condition is there. If they truly wanted a condition, shall we say, cured, then they wouldn't exist.
Exactly. And this is a whole nother podcast,
Yes.
isn't it? Which I actually feel very strongly
Me too.
about.
I
really
do.
Because I think we're so conditioned and programmed. And I personally believe there's cures to a lot of things out there. But what would that do to our economy if all of a sudden we found out that the answers to the cures for all of them have been around for years and years and years? And that's another conversation we won't get. But it's it's terrible, and it's still happening.
Oh, it's still happening. I know,
and it's on really big scales. And that must have been really, really tough for you, because not only have you had to kind of fight back, you found your own way through it, your own way to your authentic self, and then you're not allowed to be your truth.
Exactly. I was told I couldn't. Yeah. So what I was told, the words were, you can't say you have recovered, because people never recover from this. And I was like, yes, I can, because I have recovered and I feel better than ever. And so their fight back for that was they had my website took down. Okay, so my website was taken down. This is the power that can be pulled by certain organisations. Don't doubt it for 1 second. Mm-hmm. And I lost my website for a while, but that's fine. But I wasn't being told that I couldn't be out there saying I had recovered, because I had, and I wanted to share that with people to be inspired. Because a lot of the support organisations, what they're doing is they're programming people to say, you're going to live with this forever.
Yeah.
Learn to manage with it, learn to cope with it.
Interesting language.
Yeah, I was just about to say exactly that. It is interesting language.
I was not happy with that.
No.
It was only what triggered it was that I was starting to do a lot more lectures and talks. So my name was getting around a bit. And I was doing a lot of talks like down in London for nutrition conferences and stuff like that. So it's basically, as you put your head above the parapet, you're going to get shot at. And that's the analogy.
Yeah.
But it also happened to a lot of my other colleagues who were doing a similar thing, So.
I think really what it comes down to is we can heal ourselves.
Yes.
We are so powerful.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people out there don't know the resources that are out there, and the simplicity of things that you can do.
Yeah.
And shifting your mentality that, when you get told something, this is how it's going to be, you're never going to recover from this. No, actually, there's always a way.
Absolutely.
Always a way.
There is always a way.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
I like that, because that's what I always say with clients.
Yeah.
Whatever, as in the clinic, I deal with a whole host of sort of chronic health problems, and there is always a way. Always a way.
If anyone's
So-
listening out there,
There's always a way.
There's always
Yeah,
a
exactly.
way.
So we're going to finish on that and one more thing. So there's always a way. Very powerful.
yeah.
And the other thing is, what do you think is the most impactful thing that you have done for yourself?
Wow.
From everything that what have you done that's really changed the way your life or the trajectory, we'll get that word right, of your life? What do you think that is?
I would say now, because I have more wisdom, many years under the belt, is valuing myself more.
Yeah.
Valuing myself and what my beliefs are and the way I want to live my life are really, really important.
Yeah.
And now I nourish myself and I love my life, you know, and yeah, it's that. That is probably the biggest thing out of everything.
Yeah. Which it is, isn't it?
It is.
Self-love. That's where it all starts.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I didn't have.
Yeah.
I was just sort of on this sort of roller coaster.
Yeah.
Probably other people's roller coaster more than my own, to be honest.
Exactly. That's exactly it,
So I
isn't
was
it?
jumping off that roller coaster.
It's living on other people's roller coaster.
Absolutely.
So we're finishing today on some really impactful stuff. So there's always a way, and
Yeah.
self-love, value yourself.
Absolutely.
You know-
'Cause then that can start those positive changes
Yeah.
and those boundaries that
Yeah.
we were just talking about. And that
Yeah.
can be the catalyst for amazing change.
Yeah.
For somebody.
And I can really, it's so lovely because I can really feel your passion and your knowledge.
Yeah.
And if anyone's watching this, of course, if they want to get in touch with you, we
Yes.
will have your details down in the description box. So
Absolutely. I want everybody who's watching this to be inspired
Yes.
yes,
because there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
yes,
It's so positive. It's without limit.
yeah.
Without limit.
Boom.
I like that.
Boom.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Ron.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.